beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family, to the pre-match podcast of Paris Saint-Germain versus Lorient. Yeah, let's get this. I've already gone through my preview, obviously, for the people that have watched it. Let's see if any extra information has dropped. Obviously, Ligue should be dropping their predicted lineup soon that we can take a look at. And then, obviously, there's so much to talk about. So we'll find discussions to talk about. You guys let me know, obviously, if you have any thoughts or questions in the comments down below. But yeah, hopefully everyone has had a great Tuesday, and we're going to have a great Wednesday. What do we have here? After the controversy sparked by the medical staff of the Blue, they know they're particularly under scrutiny regarding management of Parisian players. If he plays, he's selectable. It is specified in the entourage of the Blues. Test escape the coach that victory against Ukraine would be enough to secure his ticket for the World Cup. And the second match at Azerbaijan could be an opportunity to give playing time to substitutes and thus avoid overworking Parisian. Look at that. So the pressure from Paris Saint-Germain has made the French Federation and everything scared, which is good, man, which is very good, man. Because what happened to Dembouz and Dua was absolutely filthy. Ousmane Dembele's comeback plan to tackle the upcoming fixtures with Paris Saint-Germain. He's savoring his return to align with the acknowledged policy of caution. Physical trainers, eyes glued to the data, no precise standard of their forward. He's being followed by his psycho, Jean-Baptiste Dolt, who has been with him for 4 years and is now a salaried employee of PSG. The club intends to plan a gradual return. He hasn't yet had the time to regain 100% of his physical abilities. He knows he need more time to fine-tune his condition. In the locker room, he's an unchanged man, true to who he is, a mischievous character with infectious energy, with the ambition through his defensive runs. It's an example he has digested the spirit those close to him explain. So, yeah, so still a little bit time until we see prime Dembouz. Yo, what's up, Aaron? You good? Doing great, man. How are you? How are you? Yo, what's up, Santa? Doing great, man. Doing great. How are you? What do you think of my new logo? Isn't it funny? Wait, so that's the Paphos logo, but instead of, I don't know who they have on the Paphos logo, it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Is that what I'm guessing? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yo, what's up, Psych? Yo, what's up, K? So, well, do I have it? A core principle, Luis Enrique's man, versatility. Yeah, man. Well, anyways, this is the predicted lineup that was put out. And obviously, you know, David Bolley had his second training session with the first team. We could see maybe David Bolley. Luis Enrique was asked about David Bolley as well. And, you know, we're facing Lorient, 16th in the league. If there's any better moment to play David Bolley, give him his debut start, at least have him in the squad, it should be this game. The only issue, though, is... Let me see if I have it here. I think it was him who said it. Yeah, this one right here. David Bolley should not be part of the score group traveling to Lorient tomorrow. Maybe it's a bit too early on for Bolley, but I don't get it. I don't get it. You know, Louis said, you know what? The thing is, he just came back from an injury. He had a 4-month injury. Let me see if you can see even on transfer markets. He had a 4-month injury. So why he's not being selected is because they feel it's a bit too early coming back from his injury. Let me see if okay, so they don't have it for transfer market, but he was injured for 4 months. But it would have been really interesting if he got to play, obviously. But yeah, we should be getting David Bolley soon into the squad. Yeah, just like last time versus Brest, some early games. I don't know the reason, but yeah. How good is Bolley? Video coming out. Video coming out. I don't want to, you know, spoil or what I read through in the video and everything. But you know what? I can actually show it. I just need to find it quickly here. So I was reading through like a talent scout thingy. And think about it, it's a talent scout, not PSG account, nothing like that. This is talent scout, and he's saying his opinion. He's probably watched David Bolley a couple of times in the under 19. Let me show you. There we go. Look, this is what they say. I mean, he's OP. He's insane, man. Strengths, pace, acceleration, technique, ball control, athleticism, agility, maturity, dribbling, anticipation, positioning, bravery to improve a very complete and mature profile for a fullback of his age. Yeah, he still needs to work hard to improve and refine certain aspects of his game, such as the quality of his final ball and aerial ability. And he's 16 years of age. Style of play, complete fullback, superb blend of attacking, defensive fullback abilities, remarkably strong for his age with the potential to develop into an outstanding athlete, agile with superb pace at all distances, selects his attacking runs wisely, showcasing excellent timing in his overlapping movements, fantastic technical capability and ball control, good ability to combine with teammates in the build-up phase, and possesses above average passing skills, superb footwork in close control at top speed, great ability at first touch, high speed in 1-2 combinations with his teammates, capable of executing extremely dangerous on and off the ball runs through the wing and half spaces, above average shot power from mid range, makes numerous interceptions thanks to his positioning, timing, and a strong sense of anticipation. Doesn't dive into tackles, instead, he stays on his feet and relies on his excellent reactions. Not afraid of physical duels and wins his fair share of them, exceptionally mature and accomplished for his age. I mean, both this and his strength, this is basically Nuno Mendes. This is basically Nuno Mendes as a right back. I don't know. That's the thing. Like with him being only 16, psych. We don't know everything about David Bodley, and I don't even think he's played that much. But from what I know, he can only play right back. Uh, but I mean, he looks to be a beast. He looks to be a beast. If he's two-footed, I could see Lucha using him on both sides. But honestly, you know what? Lucas is cheeky. Plus, Nuno Mendes plays a little bit more defensive role, so that's really hard. I don't think maybe Luis Enrique would put David Ball in a position like that. Like, think about it. We've seen Warren Zara, Emirates right back. We've seen Neves. We've seen Mayulo. But when it comes to the left center back position, where Nuno Mendes plays, or the left back position, we've never seen an outfield player play there. Luis Enrique has always played, those kinds of players in that position. Exactly. Yo, sub Diaz. Yeah, exactly. It sounds like Nuno. And I mean, when you watch the comps, it looks like Nuno because he has the athleticism, he has the technique, the pace and power, which is athleticism. Mm, Yeah, I mean, just very great talent coming up through the ranks for Paris Saint-Germain. But going back to the lineup, Chevalier in goal. Come. Um, Defense, Beraldo, Nuno, Marquinhos, Zara, Emre. Obviously, Marquinhos and Beraldo did not start and did not participate in the recent game versus Brest. So good to see them. Nuno Mendes obviously was in the squad, but wasn't used for the entire 90 minutes. Good to see him back. And Warren Zara, Emre taking the right back position because a report I remember came out said that Hakimi was got some like special treatment rest. Yeah, right here. Official Ashraf Hakimi will not take part in the game versus Lorient this Wednesday. The sporting management have decided to give the Moroccan rest and resume on Thursday. The club announces via press release. And then another thing is the medical update. Okay, so they haven't posted the medical updates. We'll come to the medical update soon. But basically, yeah. So that's the defense. Hakim is fully rested. Then for the midfield, Kangi, Lee, Vitinha, and Desiree Due. Desiree Due obviously did not start the Brest game. Wait, because I was confused about him when I made my predicted lineup. Okay, he did start. Okay, yeah. So he's going to be Vitina Kangeli. Both started the Brest game with the Ziri Due that did now because Warren is going to play right back. And then up in attack, last game we had Barcola, Sinima Yulu, Khvishik Kvaratskhelia. Now it's going to be Ibrahim Mbaya, Gonzalo Ramos, and Osman Dembele. So it's a rotated lineup. But because our quality players are back from injury, we don't have those overdone like rotated lineups. We actually have a good rotated lineup. Dembele is a starter in our best team. Chevalier, Vitinha, Due, Nuno. And then you surround them with B players, even Ibrahima Mbaye. And I think Mbaye could actually have a really good game. And thinking about it, Ramos, striker, we're going to see Dembuz on the wing in this game, which means Ibrahima Mbaye will be able to start off the left where he performs at his best as well. So very good to see. Exactly. He will. Actually, guys, go 100%. No, thank you for the advice. Yo, Habibi. Uh, yeah, what can I say, man? It's a bit hard for me now because I'm further in the progression. But I remember when I got my first 100 subs, it was a surreal feeling, and I actually think you got it much quicker than I got it. So means you're doing something right. Just keep it going. Just keep it going, man. 100 will turn into 200, 500, 1K. Yeah, man. But yeah, happy to be part of your journey from a distance from day one. And we'll continue to help you with advice whenever you need it, man. Very happy for you, man. Bettina Loki should be rested just like Hakim is next week. It will be intense. That is true. Especially because like maybe Nice gets rested, but then we got Bayern game, then we got Leon on the weekend, and then it's international break where Vitinha's going to play both Portugal games as well. So it doesn't make sense. But I mean, that's been an issue this season. Like Vitinha hasn't gotten any rest at all. Like imagine if we had David Bolly. If we had David Bolly, maybe Warren could have played the six. Or obviously, now I will come to the medical reports about Fabio Ruiz and João Neves. If I can find that quickly here, because they are the only two remaining players we have left coming back from injury. And this is the medical report from the club today. Fabio Ruiz will not be in the squad for the Lorient game. He is still, recovering from his injury. But João Neves will be in the squad versus Lorient. He was seen today in full collective training session. So we got João Neves back. And I think with Neves and Fabian coming back, then I think Luis Enrique trusts Vitinha so much. But he also trusts Fabian and Neves. So when we have Fabian and Neves, I think he's a little bit more calm in resting Vitinha. But when we don't even have, if you rest Vitinha with Fabian and Neves being out, you basically have no starting midfielder in the midfield. So even though we're playing Lorient, I still get Lucho a bit. But I think Vitinha will get a little bit more rest soon with Fabian and Neves coming back. Mbaye signed with El Baba's mother. I guess he wants to move to Lille, bring Achlios. Now, I saw that Diaz. Look, him wanting to sign with them or changing agents, I've absolutely no issue with. But I think Ibrahim Mbaye should understand the relationship between Paris Saint-Germain and yeah, he should understand the relationship between Paris Saint-Germain and Faisal Amari. Maybe think about his decision a little bit, but hopefully nothing bad of it. Let's have good optimistic hope for it. You int. Who would you say between the Bele Kvara do Barcola? I mean, I don't understand these kinds of questions because I want to keep all of them. But I mean, you mentioned 3 starters and one that's not a starter. So. Heard Vinicius wants out of Madrid. I mean, Vini has been pushed to leave Madrid for a while. His contract extension hasn't gone well with Madrid for the past 2 years. And if you're saying that like from a PSG perspective, no. Grazie Vini, but he's not welcome here. Hope Vitinha gets rest and Janto starts at his place. I mean, what? And Janto can't play as a 6. You're talking if Kangin Lee's going to be the 6? Nah, I think if Vitinha wasn't starting, Lee would have been the 6, but I think Vitinha is going to be the 6. Due and Lee as 2 offensive 8s. We've seen that before. And why Lucha's doing that is because we're facing Lorient. They're definitely going to sit back and park the bus. So we have Vitinha, we have Due, we have Lee, we have these players, Dembouz as well. Oh, so happy Dembouz is back, man. Dembouz, man. Nah, it's calm. It's calm. He can. The thing is, Vitinha is another super athlete, so Vitinha could start the game, just sub him out early. Have you also noticed that Pedro touches in big games are heavier than usual? Not a big game attached from Pedro, or what? I haven't noticed it. I haven't like looked into it or something. I haven't like noticed the pattern of bad touches in big games from Pedro. But if it's that, it could be that the pressure mentally sometimes comes to him. And one thing with Pedro as well, when he plays a big game, it's even more pressure on him because the other Barca players are just, I don't know, expecting him to do everything. Nah, I mean that last minute of the game, he's trying to push up and then goes into the tackle. Like when I see that, even if I was a Barca fan, I would have been happy. I'm like, yeah, at least he's pushing, at least he's fighting. That's why I didn't understand why Pedri got cooked the most on Twitter. He was like Barca's best player that game. He wasn't like amazing or something, but he was Barca's best player, like definitively. Chesney as well. Shout out to him. Yo, what's up? Straight shoot clips. Do you think Due has more talent than Lamine Yamal and can reach a higher peak potentially? Look, I've always said that I think Desiree Due and Lamine Yamal are the 2 best young players of this generation. And the thing with them is probably like early Messi, Ronaldo. Sometimes, Yamal is having better. Sometimes Due is better. It's a period thing. I think Messi, Ronaldo, you can have a definitive answer between who was the better between the 2 when like 5-6 seasons of sample size existed. But I think Due and Yamal goes neck and neck all the time. But I do think Due has more potential. I mean, Desiree Due can play on the wing, but obviously is better in the midfield and has just more traits in his game. I think Yamal is maybe Due is definitely more complete with him being able to play in midfield. He's a better defender. He's stronger. Um, and then when it comes to finishing, I think Desiree Due is still far away from Lamine Yamal playmaking wise. Dribbling, you can give Yamal more. The issue with the dribbling thing between the two is Desiree Due doesn't attempt like 8, 9 dribbles a game. He doesn't have that at PSG. Maybe if you put Due in a lesser team where he gets the ball all the time, maybe he would, have close to those dribble numbers as well. Obviously, the biggest thing to look at is the success rate. Then, even though a larger volume has a less likelihood of being successful. But then shooting, for example, finishing wise, so much better. I mean, gargantuanly better. So yeah, I think Due. The only downside of all these titles pushing for the first team is where we're not going to have another Kvaratskhelia signing. Not really, Diaz. I think one thing the Paris Saint-Germain know is that, let's say you promote 5 youngsters. No, you have 30 youngsters. You promote 5 of them, and maybe 2 of them stay for the rest of their career in the top team. Some of them will just sell for a good price. Look at City. That's what City are doing all the time, loaning out their youngsters or selling them for a high price. Look at Madrid. I remember Madrid when they sold Jesus Rodriguez from the academy for like 35M. They sold Alvaro Morata for like 70M. They sold Tio Hernandez. They sold so many players. Look, Marco Lorente from the academy as well. So I don't think all of them are gonna, succeed. Obviously, when you look at Warren and Mayulu, you definitely see a large future at the club, but who knows? I think Du is better than Yamal, but Yamal just has the PR. Yeah, yeah. Elite mindset, elite mentality. Yeah, you can clearly see that both Desiree Due and Lamine Yamal are, younger than the average football player. You can clearly see that in them. But I think the main difference between Desiree Due and Lamine Yamal is that Desiree Due, majority of the time, keeps it on the pitch. You see, like a celebration after the game, him doing this, dribbling, sometimes being a little bit arrogant on the pitch. I'm like, do it. Why are you trying to go past 3 people? But he keeps it on the pitch. You don't see him, I don't know, taking photos and videos with some girlfriend or just doing a bunch of stuff off the pitch. So I think that's the main difference. The Zidane has a lot of similarities. I've noticed to Kylian Mbappe, especially young Mbappe, strictly very focused on football. I think the Ziridu's ego became a little bit big after that Champions League final because between the Champions League final performance and then until he got injured, he was a little bit below, underperforming, um, and then got injured, came back with so much motivation and hunger, and has contributed to 5 goals in his last 3 games, which is insane by the Ziridu, man. Yes, sir. Welcome, welcome, bro. If you had a chance, would you do a collab with Neil Gardner? No. I thought you were gonna stay bald forever. No, 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 no. I guess you can call it a period, but it felt great being bald. I will definitely be bald more times in the future. But at the moment, yeah, that's what I got. Yes, sir. Um, he's already telling his academy coaches that and he's the next Neymar. Wow. But, that's honestly something maybe I don't like that much is that the constant, I want to be like him as well. Like the City do it should be the City do it. Lamine Yamal should be Lamine Yamal. I mean, everyone. I think you can have inspiration from someone. Maybe similar, like you watched a lot of comps of him, so maybe you dribble similarly to him and so on. But I don't like this. For example, the Ziri do when Paris Saint Germain won the Champions League. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. Okay, so basically this picture of Neymar, and then here's the Ziri do. There's even another angle, yeah, like this one. All he's missing is the I mean headband or wherever it is. Heavy arm aura forming here from the Ziri. I mean, look at this man. um, but yeah, shout out to do it, man. Shout out to do it. I heard this Swedish crime from young people's all-time high right now. Is it true? Well, 100%. I think Sweden has a grenade every single day. I don't know how many like we have a lot of shootings as well. I mean, it's really cooked, man. It's really cooked for multiple reasons. I think the police are not doing their job, and then I think the laws are just very abusable. Like if you're a criminal, come to Sweden because okay, I'm not inviting people, but when you come here, if you're a criminal, if you want to commit crimes, you'll be like, wait, this is the rules. I can do this bad thing and only get this amount of time. And opinion on dating apps, I think it's had a very bad effect on like dating between people and so on because I mean it's completely unnatural, especially the effect it has on women. I mean, it makes women way more valuable than they are, just like makeup. So I think it's a very bad thing. If he finds a girlfriend off the pitch, partying with tons of girls like him, I understand not liking. But can a player not find love? I mean, Danje 3303. Look at me. I'm looking at you. Both of us know he's not gonna marry Nikki Nicole. He doesn't. I mean, maybe he has that, love, when you're young. But he's not gonna marry. This is not some true love. This is just, a celebrity partnership. I mean, she's a celebrity herself as well. We know this relationship started at some point and will end at some point. It's just a nuisance. It's a waste of time. I said the same thing for Warren Zaire Emery. And I mean, he was dating a humble relationship. I mean, we didn't know that much about his girlfriend, apart from she was the under 19 goalkeeper. But I don't like these irrelevant relationships, especially when it's affecting your main focus. Like if you have a girlfriend and it doesn't affect your performances, I'm like, calm, yeah, I don't care that much. But if it affects your performances, I mean, you should be mad about that yourself. And then second of all, Yamal doesn't have a normal relationship. He has insane relationship. Oh, rating apps. Like SofaScore, FootMob. I genuinely like them because after a game, I can go there. Look, what I do, this is the difference between maybe me and other people. I watch the game and then I look at the stats because then the stats will somewhat back up what I just watched. The issue I have is people that don't watch the game and then use the stats to give them an image of how the game went, which is completely wrong, especially with the ratings that they give to the players. I mean, my main issue with FootMob and SofaScore is that the only way your rating can get downgraded is if you score an own goal, if you get a red card, like if you do a really bad thing. But if you're ghosting the entire game, if you're the winger for a big club and you're completely ghosting, you're not creating anything, you're not taking shots, you're not dribbling people, that doesn't give you a minus. I don't understand that. So you can basically it will carry you to like a 7 the entire game. And then if you fluke an assist the last minute, you have like an 8.3. It doesn't make sense. Uh, I don't think Yamal should apologize to Dani Carvajal because if Yamal talked badly about Carvajal in an interview, then yeah. But Yamal talked about Barca and his thoughts about Barca. I don't think I think both Carvajal and Lamine Yamal should sit down and talk with both of them playing for the Spanish national team. Yeah, yeah. Garnacho, man. Is playing better is because he broke up. Yeah, I think it has a very, very huge effect. He's Christian. Do is Christian though? He keeps a bum. No, no, I know. I think after the Champions League final, he said something like "God is great" or something about God. So I know he's Christian as well. I'm just saying he did it. If he had that headband, then he would be like 100% Neymar. Kings League. Yeah, 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 100%. The thing is, honestly, if he wants to do the Kings League, I mean, it's calm. He's not gonna. He took a penalty last time. He was just a manager. I think the only issue is when these stuff affect your performances. For example, Neymar Jr. He was at Paris Saint-Germain. Sometimes he was going out partying. He was out with girls and so on. I wasn't that mad about it. Why? Because it didn't affect his performances. He could be out drunk and then he plays a Champions League game and absolutely destroys the opponent. That's why I was calm with that. But if it affected his performances, then I would be completely cooked with it. And then the thing is, Neymar was 27. He'd already shown, 10 years of individual brilliance in football. Like, then you can party a bit. When you get a little bit older and have done stuff in football, you can't like have one great season in football and think you're prime Messi. Today, that the government is trying to crack down children in gangs because he got that bad. Children in gangs because he got that bad. Never match because Sweden seems peaceful. Yeah, It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. The main reason why it's so many underage people, boys, in crime is because they get way less sentences. So the gangs are just abusing them, affecting his performance. She wasn't even at the Madrid game. He had no distractions. Just said, I'm an issue. He's mentally exhausted. He needs rest. He really likes Nikki. I wouldn't say Nikki is. I wouldn't say Nikki could potentially affect him. I think his relationship with her is affecting him, because from what I've seen, she looks just like a, I don't know, a normal girl. Nothing extraordinary. Nothing, bad, negative, or something. But I think the relationship definitely, uh, it makes him prioritize something else. And in an early career in football, the most important thing is just to play football. Just to play football. Then when you get a little bit older, you get a little bit more experience, you know how the game works, then you can add these side quests. Bonsoir, Rivi, bonsoir. PSG ball, cheeky dub versus Lorient after that Bayern versus Köln DFB Pokal. Oh, they played that game? What, you thinking you're going to hate watch the game or what? Or no, tactic watch. We don't hate watch, we tactic watch. Don't you think it's obviously Aman was afraid to make a mistake in Clasico other big games recently? Look how many packed passes he made. He puts unnecessary pressure and it subtly affects him, in my opinion. I think two stuff that happened both in the PSG and the Madrid game is both of the teams pressed, which meant there was a lot of space in behind. And Yaman is not the quickest. He's not a huge 1v1 threat that can pace in behind and everything. He needs Rafinha, the runner. He needs Lewandowski, a central player that takes away attention. But that didn't happen in the game. I also think mentally, it looks very like his PSG game, his Portugal game. I think it's just a very big game, and with no Rafinha, no Lewandowski, all the pressure is on him, and he just can't handle the pressure, I feel. But yeah, definitely scared of taking risks. Which had the recordings of Nicky. May's younger brother. I would say if you really like someone, you stick with that with someone. You just need to perform. Yeah, I mean, you're trying to like compare it to like Messi and Antonella. I just don't see it that way. Yeah, Nuno Mendes this year maybe. It's called also. Yeah, no, I've sent the link. They just must be unavailable at the moment. Also, what do you think the scoreline would be? PSG versus Bayern. The prediction I'm going to stick to is 3-1. 3-1 is the feeling I have. I want to beat them, but I'm going to beat them more than just one goal, like we did versus Barca, for example. Say ruin Neymar, but in reality, he chooses to be a celebrity of football. Not really, because the thing with Neymar is, man, he cooked for us, man. Especially in the Champions League group stage, knockout stage, whatever game it was. He was just cooked, man. He was just cooked. And the thing with Neymar is, he didn't get some fugazi injuries. No, I watched all of the injuries live. Let me show you one. I'm gonna show you the most egregious. Strasbourg, Neymar injured. Like I watched this live, and I got so mad. This one right here. So Neymar was in a central area, goes inside. Look at that. First kick, ankle as well. Ankle is already a weak part of your body. Neymar's is 100, and Neymar's ankle is 100 times weaker than any ankle there is in the world. Kicks him once, kicks the other ankle, and then here, kicks the ankle again. And he only got a yellow card. This is red card and a 3-match ban. He's not playing football. And Neymar got injured here. I think this was, let me see Neymar's shirt. This is 18-19. This is when he missed the United game. Like what the how is this allowed? And then let me show another one. Andre Lille. This one I saw live as well. I mean, I've seen them all. Okay. Here we have another one. For yeah, he lands. Oh, there. Oh, I nearly got it. His leg went into a challenge and just his leg got cooked. And then the last one I can remember. I can't even find this one. Oh, I just found it. So this one, he's getting the ball. Someone comes from behind, and he just lunges into him. I think a little bit of his back gets his ankle. Fuck. Fuck again, honestly, fuck again. Because PSG complained so many times that Neymar Jr. is not being protected at PSG, and they did nothing, man. This was the best player, second best player in the world, and he was getting kicked the shit out. Let me find some stats. Let me find some stats because it was absolutely because Neymar was so fucking good. When Neymar, the biggest difference, I think, a major difference why Neymar became so much better at PSG than Barca is because he was playing in the number 10. He was always getting the ball. He was basically the Messi of our team. For example, here, I mean, this is Champions League as well. Neymar was the most found player in the 2017-18 season. And this season, think about it. Neymar only played the group stage and the first leg of the round of 16 versus Madrid. He was injured for the second leg. He was most found 28 times. I I fear for him, man. That is true. Oh, forgot about that. Dub dub Reeve. Look where you can get there. But I don't still to this day know I didn't want Donna anymore. Look, throughout the season, we'll see him more often. We'll see him more often. Yo, what's up, Sicko? Yeah. Honestly, you know what? United were fucking trash. Even without Neymar, we should have never lost that game, man. But obviously, if Neymar was there, for her, Messi, Lami, both passenger princess. Drops Lami like Atalanta. Honestly, you know what? Maybe, and maybe in that way, she could be some good influence on him. It just, when it comes to these celebrity relationships, I never take them seriously. I see Kim Kardashian with fucking Kanye West, or I see anyone in Hollywood, celebrities immediately. Look at Neymar. But maybe, honestly, maybe. I don't know that much about their relationship. On football betting, are you for or against it? I mean, I'm totally against betting for obviously, firstly, Islamic reasons, and then secondly, logical reasons. I mean, think about it. No betting company would exist if it was a fair game. The only reason they exist is because they win way more than what you win. You lose way more than you win because they win. The game is rigged. The game is meant to be rigged. When you have I don't know, a parlay of 17 games and it goes 16 correct, one goes wrong, that's on purpose. The game is supposed to be rigged. You're not supposed to win that game. When you play football on the pitch, that's a fair game. If you're bad, you're gonna lose. If you're good, you're gonna win. Obviously, there could be some unfortunateness, hitting a post, getting injured, anything like that. But it's a fair game from the start. Betting is not fair. So I don't understand. Like there are actual people that think they will make money. Yes, out of 100 people trying to make money from betting, maybe three, four, five, six, seven out of 100 will make good money from it. But the rest will all lose. As a manager, who would you start, sub, sell? Jude, Vitinha, Pedri? I would start Vitinha. I would sub Pedri, and I would deport Jude Bellingham. No, I would sell Jude Bellingham. He has the highest value as well, according to Transfermarkt. So ability like Neymar, apart from Pepsi, but have more boring play style. Yeah, he was a little bit. I wouldn't say boring. And people say, "Oh, he attempts the same pass all the time," but I would say he's more robotic, NPC, NPC. Neymar did some. Oof. She's the one energy very well. She also supports him. She's a Barcelona in Argentina, recording music and doing concerts. Yeah, I saw that. Very, very great that you mentioned it, Chris. Mm, 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 mm. All right, found it here. Juanito. Justin, Paris Saint-Germain are interested in Juan Hernandez, 18-year-old midfielder at Barca Athletic. Enrique in particular is keeping an eye on young talents at Barcelona. Release clause, 6 million euros. We can sign him on a free at the end of the season if he doesn't renew. So let's take a look at this Juan Hernandez dude. Juan Hernandez. And they said he's playing with Barca Athletic, not La Masia, because he's 18. Yeah, so under 19 is like La Masia, but he's playing with Barca Athletic. And Barca Athletic, I think they play in the Segunda tier. Let me zoom in. I think Barca Athletic, yeah, Segundo Federación. So like their reserve team. Is he at least the best one in this team? Okay, it doesn't even have a market valuation. What is he? Attacking midfielder? Honestly, sometimes, if we take, for example, Cherendor, there must be someone else. Cherendor, as an example, we got him, loaned him out 2 seasons, and then we sold him for like 15 million. So it could also, I think it's mostly an opportunity because his contract ends in the summer. So I think maybe we'll go for him in the summer. If any Barca fans are here, let me know if you guys know if he's good or not. Mm. I mean, look, if you're talking about football, if the football is good, Premier League is by far the worst. Premier League is look, I hadn't talked to my friend in a couple of days on the weekend. And then Sunday, we were talking on Discord and he was screen sharing like YouTube. And we were watching and we thought like he wanted to watch all the highlights of the Premier League games that had gone by. Like you had Liverpool, Brentford, you had Chelsea, Brentford, Chelsea, Brentford, Liverpool. No, Liverpool, Brentford. Who did Chelsea, Sunderland, City, Everton. We watched all of these games. I don't lie. Half of the highlights set pieces. I was disgusted. I was genuinely disgusted. And that's why the team that I support in the Premier League is by far and easily Manchester United. I've already had a little bit of liking towards United before. I would say I supported United for 1 season when Zlatan Ibrahimovic was there, which was really enjoyable. But United is the only team that doesn't fucking rely on filthy set pieces. Quite the opposite. They're the victims. Like Bayendir going into the net when facing teams. I saw Van den Ven score 2 set piece goals. I mean, Premier League footballing wise is by far the worst. I think the thing that Premier League has is the narratives and the individual talent. But the average football, filthy, disgusting, man. How can an entire league rely on set pieces, man? Tenas is another one. Yeah, that's another one that beats exactly. So I think it's more of an opportunity, especially because we have Mayulu who can play there. We have Fabio Ruiz, we have Desiree Doué, we have Kangin Lee, and we have Njanto coming up. And I don't think Juan Hernandez is better than Njanto. Oh, fourth division. Okay. Did they get demoted or something? Okay. Yeah, I mean, Barca midfielders. La Masia Barca midfielders. You can never go wrong with them. Top 3 most overrated players in the world right now. Tough question. Because if we're talking just from this season, or we're talking overall ability like 2025, It's a very hard question to answer. Let's instead of doing top three, let's do one overrated player per team. PSG. I guess Marquinhos. I mean, he got into the Champions League team of the season. He got into the FIFA Pro 11 ahead of Pacho. So I guess Marquinhos is the most, for some reason, overrated at PSG. I think Marquinhos is maybe overrated because he's very well known by people, but they haven't understood or they don't watch the games to see that like he's not the same player. Even though he's good, like Marquinhos is good, but him making those lists doesn't make sense. Barca, I think it has to be Lamine Yamal, especially after that Inter time, man. Real Madrid. I mean, the obvious answer is obviously Bellingham, but Bellingham PR has been quite down since last season. Obviously, now it's coming back up. But not honestly, Bellingham. You know, I've heard genuine people say filthy stuff like best mid. I don't want to. I don't want to get into. Bayern München. I don't know. They don't have that much PR, but I'm gonna say Limer because I mean, I think Limer has been probably been very good this season. I haven't watched Bayern, but I've heard a lot of great stuff about him from Bayern fans. But they're saying, oh, he's gonna show when we face PSG, he's gonna show he's the best right back in the world. And I'm like, come on, respect the sports, man. Premier League, City, probably gonna go Phil Foden. Just not that good. Um, Liverpool, Salah, Chelsea. No one's overrated at Chelsea, man. Kukureya, that's a good one. Kane is overrated. Always goes in big games. Usually knockouts. That's for England. I understand that, but Kane is top player, man. Van Dijk is a good one. Saka, yeah. Okay. Thank you, man. No, basically, Seiko, that it looks like Mbaye is. So Mbaye has 1 year left on his contract, I think, or 2 years. In 2027, his contract ends, Seiko. And maybe he doesn't have an agent because, you know, he just came from the academy. And then the first agent he's going to is the Mbappe agency of Faisal Amari, which, you know, has a lot of French young players. He has Kylian Mbappe, he has Ethan Mbappe, he has Ryan Cherky. He used to have Ryan Cherky. I think he has a lot of other players as well. So I think he just, you know, wants to get the best possible negotiator for him in his upcoming contract negotiation with Paris Saint-Germain. With the injuries this season causing me a relapse of PG match, so he hasn't got best from yet. Against Madrid, still dealing with the discomfort. No, 100%. Like Virex, I remember we were sitting here on the pod, you know, discussing Yamal injury and so on, and then we found out he has this pubalgia, whatever it's called. Tosin, who was here then, knows more about it, so he told me about it. I did my research. It's a really bad injury. It's I don't even know if you call it an injury. It's basically a disease or something, but it's a really bad injury that, you know, affected some of the greats. You know, Marco Verratti, he was so injury prone and he had pubalgia. Zlatan had pubalgia, but I guess he recovered from it. Osman Dembele had pubalgia, but I guess he recovered from it. Fernando Torres had it and he cooked his career. Kaká had it and he cooked his career. I've read the recent reports about Lamine Yamal. Barcelona are thinking about doing a surgery. Yamal is like asking doctors and supervisors what's the best decision because it's a special operation, a special surgery. But yeah, let's see what happens, man. Let's see what happens. No, who's that? No, I think he has a really bad injury, but Barca definitely been rushing him back. They rushed back Rafinha. Rafinha had a 1 month relapse. I think one thing Barcelona and Hansi Flick have to start doing, which I respect Luis Enrique a lot for, is always looking at the bigger picture. It's like when we lost our unbeaten streak last season. Lucho was subbing out our best players throughout the game. We could have maybe come back and gotten a draw, but Lucho was thinking about the next game versus Arsenal, and he was like, "You know what? I'm beaten. La la la. This la 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 that. As long as we win, you know, the Arsenal game. That's what matters. The Champions League." Or like when we faced you guys, the Ziri Due could have been in the squad, But Lucho was like, nah, come. You know what? We'll put the trust in Mbaye and Mayuro. And I think Hansi Flick needs to start trusting his squad a bit more because I know Paris Saint-Germain has a better squad and better depth than Barca, but you gotta still trust where you have. And I think Pedri, I made a video about it. Pedri, Kunde. Let me find the thing. Let me find it. Like so many players have been overplaying, which is obviously leading to all of these injuries and so on. Because I have one. I made a comparison to PSG. Look, so from 5,400 minutes last season, I mean, look at these minutes. Especially Lamine Yamal is also very young. You know, youngsters are not supposed to play this much of football. Neymar did it, Rooney did it, and we saw how they affected towards the end of their career. Yamal should not be playing this much. It doesn't matter how good he is. He shouldn't be playing. Kunde, Pedri. And think about it. All of these are the top appearance and minutes makers from Barca last season. All of these players are having Rafinha's been injured, Leva been injured, Yamal been injured. I think Kunde maybe small injury. And then Kubar, or they haven't been good. Apart from Pedri, because Pedri is insane. Well, like this is a huge problem they have. Funny how Saka couldn't draw past Mount or Van Dide inside by Perisic. Underrated players? Or let's pick one from every single team. PSG, it's I can't. It's William Pacho and William Pacho, Fabian Ruiz. One player. That's one player. Barca. I know Barca has very good PR. It's very hard finding an under. I must say honestly, Rafinha. I think Rafinha, especially after that filthy two legs versus Inter, has been very underrated uh, from the Barca fan base, especially. Like saying, I remember when Yamal was injured beginning of the season, Rafinha was starting. They were like, "Oh, Rafinha is so ass without Yamal." Rafinha was actually good, and Barca were performing well. And then the opposite happened, but no, they can never slander Yamal. They can also only slander Rafinha. I don't get that, man. If a player in my team had 65 GA, was huge in the Champions League, most goals with Gorasi and most assists, but he was so badly treated. So probably Rafinha. Madrid underrated. I mean, he's very early on, but I guess Carreras maybe. Even though a lot of obviously Madrid fans prop him so far this season, but maybe other fan base haven't understood this. It's either a good start. By München under, I mean they have a lot of underrated players. I'm gonna go with Harry Kane. I mean, when I saw Harry Kane not being in that FIFA Pro 11, I got absolutely disgusted. Disgusted. If not Harry Kane, it's Dayot Upamecano because people are still living in 2023 when he fumbled there against City in both legs. I mean, okay, every player makes mistakes here and there. Upamecano is one of the best centre backs in the world. And I couldn't care less about the Premier League, man. 90% of goals from Premier League from set piece. A new record. Yeah, I know. Filthy. Filthy, man. No, that issue Spain gave him. Yeah. Well, I don't know. So let's see what he does. Ever since our doctor passed away, being banned. Yeah, I remember that last season. Not exactly what he said. Big shout out to Lucha for also looking out for boys at a human level. Chris Batham doesn't want to see them suffer from a relapse, something 100%. Like we would rather not have do it for 2 additional weeks than to see him relapse or something. Yo, what's up, Funkin? What do you think Donnarumma performance at Man City? I mean, he's been very good. So hopefully he continues to be good because I like Donna. I will always like Donna. You know, Donnarumma is the first player that left in his prime that I'm happy with. 3 players left during my time as a PSG fan. 3 players left in their prime, age-wise. That's Kylian Mbappe, that's Adrien Rabiot, and that's Gianluigi Donnarumma. These 2 rats, Rabiot and Mbappe, filthy rats. But Donnarumma, man, I wish him all the best with City, as long as they don't face us, and I wish him the absolute best with Italy as well. Hopefully they make the World Cup, as long as they don't face Sweden, because then we'll beat them again. Who's the most disrespected player right now? I guess Rafinha then, because now people are seeing the huge impact of Rafinha and Kane as well. I mean, Kane. How Kane? Fabio Ruiz as well. Fabio Ruiz as well. Do you think he had it for the Nations League game? Because that was the first time I saw Yamal just dead, like not trying to dribble, not use that energy and so on. Could have been there for a very long time. You think there's even tiny chance of a Donna return? No. Many different stuff. I think Luis Enrique is going to be here for a while. We know what that means. Then we have Chevalier, who's young, who's going to be here for a while. So no, we'll wink to Donna from far away. No, Funke, don't say that. I know he's underperforming at the moment. I looked at his stats and everything, but kept a clean sheet in his recent game. Buy-in bet game, that's a big game. And you got to think about it. Donnarumma, in the first leg versus Liverpool, he only faced one shot, conceded it, and we were cussing him out on the post-match. Then the second Liverpool game, amazing. And that changed Donnarumma for the rest of that Champions League knockout campaign. Chevalier, maybe that buying game can be that confidence game, because Chevalier is not a bad keeper. He's just not in good confidence and not playing at the level he should be playing. If this was Chevalier's level, let's go and buy a goalkeeper in January. But everyone knows this is not Chevalier's level. So come on, don't say that, man. Yeah, I've seen Lemons is good. I think one goal he shouldn't have conceded in that recent game versus Brighton, but no, very happy for United, man. Oh, for sure. I mean, the only people that hate on it's two. It's Barca fans and it's Barca Glazers. I remember when Vitinha came third in Ballon d'Or, what people said. It's just I understand Rafinha could be higher, but then what I said is Barca deserved the second spot and the fifth spot. You either choose Rafinha second, Yamal fifth, or the opposite. They choose like that. Don't cry for Rafinha. Wait, really? So all of those fake reports? No, all of those reports were fake then? Let me see. I mean, maybe it's been postponed or weren't they were when were they supposed to have it? Okay, so at least it's been postponed because yesterday, on the 27th of October, he posted demain à 20 heures, which means tomorrow, 20 p.m. live. Oh, wait, he was just talking about his stream then. What? He was just hyping up his live? Man, so weird stuff. I mean, usually like it. Donnarumma is an anomaly. I mean, I don't think Chevalier will go up to that performance, but I mean, I don't understand how that's an anomaly, Aryan. That one game, can give you a lot of confidence. It's like Dembouz. Dembouz, I'd probably say maybe City. That's when his leader role really started. When he came on, then he scored the hat trick. Stuttgart. That's where all of it started. So no, I disagree. Stop using my logic, man. Chevalier, wow. Okay, you know what? Let me screenshot that. Man. Let me screenshot that. Let's, we got you on tape, Shario. We got you on tape. It's a skip past two players against Mendes and Vitina, and Bruno kicked him right in the ankle to win the free kick. Wait, what are you talking about? Mm. Okay, so I mean, what he's basically saying is there was no interview going to be, because when you look at his tweet with Lamine Yamal, I think maybe he was just chilling with Lamine Yamal and he was like, "Yo, let's take a cold video," because he just came back to Twitch after 5 months as well. So maybe they were never going to have an interview. Maybe it was just like a hype video for him coming back to Twitch after 5 months. I think Khvicha, do it got time. Do it got time, man. That's the thing. For me, when it comes to youngsters, Stoan, I don't like to just push them, push them, push. All the players you can push, 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 push. Younger players, like do it, do it, do it. His time will come, man. But I would say Khvicha for now. And I say Khvicha for now because I know do it so good that it could maybe change soon. I'll be back in 1 second. If Portugal win the World Cup, who do you want to win the Ballon d'Or, Vitinha or Mendes? Who is better? Depending on who is better. I think I like Nuno more. I remember back in the day, Nuno used to be my favorite player because he's been here for a while. He's like one of the longest serving, apart from Marquinhos, obviously. But it depends on who is better. That's the thing. It's not biasy. If Vitinha is the best, I must say Vitinha. If it's Nuno, I must say. If it's Mbappe, I must say Mbappe. But between them two, yeah. I mean, I would like it for both of them. Vitinha came third this year. It would be an incredible achievement for Vitinha to win it. Nuno, Nuno would be nice as well. First defender since Cannavaro, deserving, unlike Cannavaro as well. Um, um, yeah, one opinion I've gotten in recent time is, for example, when Messi won, what was it, like 4 Ballon d'Ors in a row? It was Barca dominating football. They were a dynasty for that period, and Messi won. Now PSG are going to dominate football and have a dynasty. But I don't think the difference between a Dembouz and a Vitinha is as much as a Messi and Iniesta, for example. So if Dembouz doesn't have a great year, I think Paris Saint-Germain players could potentially be dominating the Ballon d'Or. We could see Dembele winning again, but we could see other PSG players winning. Does he do it for the future? 100%. Nuno Mendes, Vitinha, maybe Kvara. So, oh yeah. They scare me only because Davis. I will rip my eyes out there when you said. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Look, I wouldn't say they scare me, but they disgust me. Like I wouldn't want to play Arsenal, not because they're great, but because it would be down to the small margins. Think about it. Against Arsenal, all of the chances we had, basically none of them were big chances because it's very hard creating big chances against Arsenal. That's why we only scored bangers. Fabian banger, Hakimi banger, Dembouz banger, Khvicha hitting the post banger. Only this interview has to do them for the Kings League. It was by Piquet. Iba also paused saying, what does it say? Take some of the blame. Who's Ibai? Also beat Atletico 4-0, and now they are UCL contenders. PSG, does this shit make sense? No, look, I think Arsenal started the season, winning 3 out of 3 in the UCL, having being first in the Premier League, beating Atletico Madrid 4-0 is definitely great stuff. Continuing where they left off from last season. Um, but they definitely overrated that performance. I mean, we saw Benfica and Paris Saint-Germain slap Atletico Madrid 4-0 in recent time. I think it's a great victory. But honestly, UCL contenders, Raylan, look, Arsenal were in the semi-final last year of the Champions League. They've strengthened their squad. Gyökeres, Zubimendi, Mosquera, Eze. So I wouldn't say it's the worst take. Picture the best midfield in the world after Barca and Madrid. Who's gonna tell him? No, Barca and Madrid does not have a better midfield than us. And that was proven when we faced them as well, but they do not have a better midfield than us. Bastoni at PSG? Bastoni at PSG would be really great, but we have William Pacho, and I don't think Bastoni would like to come and sit on the bench. Low IQ? No. One thing I would say about Due is sometimes he's a little bit selfish. Um, and I think the biggest thing he has to improve on is his playmaking. But then he has low IQ. What the fuck is People need to remember, even Donnarumma, first 3.5 seasons at PSG was considered a bum mistake-ridden keeper until UCL knockouts come. Chevalier just needs a little time. 100%. And the thing with Chevalier, I've said this argument multiple times. Donnarumma last season had to save us. We beat Liverpool on pens. We beat Villa with 1 goal. Arsenal, yes, we beat them with a couple of goals, but Donna was absolutely huge in both legs. This season, we would not need savior from our goalkeeper. Yes, we need our goalkeeper to make saves, but we'll beat teams with a bigger margin. We saw that in the Club World Cup. Did Donnarumma save us in the Club World Cup? No. When we beat Bayern 2-0, which was a tough game, Bayern didn't really test us that much. Madrid would beat them 4-0. Atletico beat them 4-0. Donnarumma didn't need to save us. Against Barca, did Chevalier need to save us? No. Why? Because we were too good with a depleted squad. So Chevalier just won't have to save us as much as Donnarumma had to save us last season. We're gonna stick to the four-man midfield. I mean, Aryan, you see it. Because Aryan, look at this. You know my opinion about Jude. Why I've always pushed the false nine narrative, Aryan, because I've always called Jude Bellingham a fourth midfielder. He shouldn't be part of the three-man midfield. He should have basically a free role. Playing as a right winger. I mean, look, I sit here and talk football so much, but I didn't see that high IQ genius move by Xabi Alonso. Also playing Kamavinga in that position as well, because sometimes Jude Bellingham would drop into midfield as well. Exactly, exactly. No, I think it's way better, and I think Mbappe, finishing wise, wasn't the best versus Barca, but his link up, his playmaking, his selflessness, Arian, it looked like Dembouz a little bit. Exactly what we wanted from Mbappe when he was at PSG. Yeah, I would say so. Equal? I mean, it's fair. I think they're on the same level. Yeah. Okay, it's like 2 in a row if you unleashes. Let's see. Let's see. It's gonna be tough, because he has Dembouz, he has Doué, he has other players at PSG that will take. It's like Vinny. Vinny will never win a Ballon d'Or at Madrid. Why? Because Mbappe will always win it above him. Who's the Kings League team owner? A guy that asked about Madrid. Yeah, that's the thing. I think Lamine Yamal, maybe with time because he's so immature. I think with time he will get to know, because I said it when he went to the podcast. I was like, "That's a trap. That's a trap, Lamine Yamal." They're using you. They're using your clout. They're using your words for their show. Why are you going there? It's like if, let's say, some big thing called me and they were just asking me a bunch of fucking toxic, filthy questions. Why would I want to go there? This version of PSG is better than last year. Also, I'm curious, could be a coach for a club. Would you work? Oh, great question. Yeah, I think PSG so far is showing glimpses that we're better. The thing is, we saw that at the Club World Cup, Rylan. We saw at the Club World Cup that we were better than we were in the Champions League. So I think that improvement is just going to continue. The only issue with this season, we haven't seen fully fit PSG. We haven't seen our best 11. We basically had our best 11 for that entire knockout stage run and basically in the Club World Cup as well, apart from Pacho in the Club World Cup final because he was suspended. because of the red card versus Bayern. We obviously didn't have Pacho for the Madrid game as well. But we haven't seen our best lineup yet this season. Maybe what Toulouse game, Angers game, we had a really strong lineup. But I'm just waiting for Neves and Fabian to be back. Phew, phew, phew. Then we'll actually see if we're better than Lassi. But I definitely think so. It should be, but we're gonna have a semi-rotated lineup. So I'm predicting 4-1, I think. But honestly, 2-0. Yeah, honestly, I'm just give me the 3 points. This is a midweek game, but Dembooz is gonna start. So let's hope for some stat padding. Exactly, that is true. Barcola is a very underrated one. The thing is, he's just not a starter when we have our best player, so it's a bit hard seeing him win a Ballon d'Or. We're going to sign a right back? No, we're going to be using David Bolly if he can come back well from injury. Look, Paris Saint-Germain should always be after the best players in the world, and I think Gilberto Mora is a top tier talent. 16 years old, was the best player in the under 19 World Cup. As a 16-year-old, plays for this Mexican national team, won the Gold Cup with them. So he's a great talent. Why shouldn't PSG be after him and pick him up? Look. When it comes to the generational tag, you can't be throwing it around. Just because a player is really good or really great, you can't say generational. I think, look, when you look at the PSG team, who is generational / was generational? Let's go. Let me bring up the starting lineup 1 second. The best PSG lineup. Let's see how many generational players. Because I mean, we are by far the most talented team in the world, so we should have a couple of generational talents on our hands. Let's see. We'll try to go through the backups as well, but I don't think. So this is our lineup. Is Chevalier generational? No. Is Pacho generational? No. Was Marquinhos generational? I think so. We bought him for like 38 million from AS Roma back in 2013. That's a huge price tag. And everyone wanted him. Chelsea wanted him, Barca wanted him. And then throughout Marquinhos' time at PSG, all the big clubs were heavily interested in Marquinhos all the time. I think Chelsea even made a huge, like 90 million bid, and we rejected it. Then we come to the fullbacks. I think both Ashraf Hakimi and Nuno Mendes are generational fullbacks. Nuno Mendes, since his first game, his first touch at PSG, I knew he was top tier talent. And Ashraf Hakimi, top tier. I think João Neves is generational. The way he's been performing at 19, 20 years of age. Come on. Vitinha, I don't know. When I think of generational, I think of, players that really at a young age were shown to be elite. Vitinha came a bit later, he was at Wolves for a while. But I mean, he has generational ability, but I wouldn't call him a generational player. I wouldn't call Fabian a generational player. I wouldn't call Khvicha Kvaratskhelia generational. Desiree Doué generational. Osman Dembele is generational. When he was at Dortmund, I'm in Barca paying 150 million for a player with 2 seasons. Generational, man. Easy job, man. Easy job for him. The 13, no. Let's take it easy on that 13-year-old man. His time will come. It's not bad take. Pachu's so good, man. Pachu's so good. He obviously wasn't as touted when he was younger as Marky, but man, Pachu is such a weird one to describe, man. He's so good. Was that the El Clasico? Yeah. No, shout out to Hakimi. He probably found a blind spot in there. And even in the picture I saw when the fan found him, Hakimi just wants there to go and watch the game and then go home, man. He didn't want to be treated as Ashraf Hakimi, the PSG former Madrid player. He just wants to be there as a normal person. But yeah, I mean, it just shows he has a great admiration for his not parents club, like the club he came through, the academy through. Which is the thing I love about Hakimi is very respectful. Scored against Inter, the first goal in our Champions League final. His history of the club like this. I mean, not many players would do that. Marquinhos plays a game called Rise of Kingdoms. Server? Talked to him a few times. Are you sure? Are you sure that's Marquinhos? Do you think Lucas Beraldo is better as a left back or centre back? Centre back. Arsenal, the type of team to make it final, but their such brothers are playing haram. We'll see. We'll see. I think their playing style can take them far, but I don't think it can win them a UCL. Well, we'll see if we're proven right or wrong. No, I definitely agree with that. I'm just saying the generational tag should be kept for generational players. He's so great. Like Zabarni reminds me of Thiago Silva. That's the best compliment a centre back at PSG can ever hear. Whereas Pacho gives you similarities of Kimpembe. If you think you can't make it, just remember we're not a part of this. Now he gives me so much confidence in becoming a professional football player, man. Ben Dembele invented two-footedness. Pronto Silva centre back. That is true. The thing is, when I'm talking about Marquinhos, I'm talking strictly like when buy him off Roma because it took a while for Marquinhos to perform at the level. Like what he became like a starter, top tier player when Tuchel came in 18-19. How old was Marquinhos then? How old was Marquinhos in 18-19? 24. So we signed him. We signed him when he was 19, and Pacho now is 24. Why do you think Germany is so pro Israel? I mean, Germany is part of the West, Western Europe that sold its soul after World War II to the USA, and the USA has great relationships with Israel. So Germany are forced because they do everything. They abide everything by what America says. What's the common thing between Jude Bellingham and Lamine Yamal? PR merchants. Look at the states of the Prem. Brentford took a total 9 minutes, 18 seconds to take their 10 long throw-ins. What the fuck? Really? Okay. That's nice to hear. Huge one, man. Huge one. Yeah. Yeah. The other day, Hakim literally had one of the best right backs he's ever lost year. He was crazy, man. And the thing with Hakimi as well, he's been doing it for so long in his career as well. Dortmund days, Inter Milan days, and now here. Even he's a huge. He definitely retire as the best Moroccan player of all time and one of the best African players of all time. Hopefully, he wins the African Ballon d'Or. I saw a report that Paris Saint-Germain will do like a push campaign for Hakimi African Ballon d'Or. He needs to win that one. One point Marquinhos was backup to Luis. Yeah. Yeah. So he was backup. And I remember when Unai Emery came in, he basically said, like, no, we sell David Luiz. We keep Marquinhos. But David Luiz, we signed him for a really high price tag, and he never really lived up to it. He was like between a decent and good. Obviously, my favorite memory, PSG ever, battle at the bridge. David Luiz scoring against Chelsea and celebrating. So he still gave us that moment, but he also gave us double nutmeg versus Luis Suarez. Didn't meet expectations. If I gave him a rating out of 10, I would give David Luiz signing when you include the fee and everything. We still got like 30 million, 25 when we sold him back to Chelsea. I would give it like a 6. Not, nah. He was insane, man. Stalin than Bellingham. Yeah, exactly. That's why it's made me more calm with Lamine. It's deserved PR, but the PR is too much. Whereas Bellingham, a lot of the time, I mean, he does nothing and gets praised for it. It's like Ronaldo and Messi PR, really the next face of football. Yeah, for me, the issue with Yamal is just how forced it is. Messi and Ronaldo, they were not forced. They forced themselves onto that stage. I definitely feel the Lamine Yamal PR is forced. Him coming second in Ballon d'Or is the best proof of that. Saying they're the best team in the world is like the best when you say about thrashing teams like PSG Bayern. Yeah, I mean that's obviously delusional. I've seen Arsenal fans call themselves the best in the world, but sometimes they always leave the apart from PSG. So I like that, especially the Prem teams. The Prem teams, we gave them a spanking last season. They have a lot of respect for us. Madrid and Barca fans should also have respect. I mean, Madrid have respect for us. They glaze us all the time. Barca fans should honestly have more respect for this PSG team. I mean, we're not rivals. We're not hating on you. We're not. Yeah, you're a top rival in Europe, but that's it. I think Barca fans should just honestly just because they're so stuck in the Dua Yamal, the Vitinha Pedri, this and that debates. Just give praise to this PSG team, man. But yeah, Arsenal fans. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. It's early on the season so far. Fun fact: PSG's market has spent over $1.2 million in mobile games. Wow, in Rise of Kingdoms alone. Market, man. Let's see if anything new has dropped here. Nope. Mm-mm. Honestly, so many of these vocal Barca fans, they have embarrassed themselves so much after the El Clasico game. It's thing happened. Liverpool, a lot of new players. Salah, Van Dijk, Allison, the three, cornerstone experienced players that have been there for a while, getting older and less motivated by performing at the top level for Liverpool. It's a little bit of a transition season for Liverpool. Some more rushes because the media doesn't let him grow. That is true. That is true, but I wouldn't say that's how it is nowadays. Like no player has this has never happened before, apart from Yamal. I mean, maybe Bellingham to some extent, putting him in, calling him best player in the world and stuff. Oh my days! I mean, at least Yamal best player. I mean, I disagree with him. I mean, he shows insane talent. When I heard Bellingham best player, I'm like, the sport has never been in a worse position. Portugal. That's my feeling. That's my prediction. Score more goals against Arsenal. You see, like their defense structure and good. How can we score past them? I mean, just like we scored past them with bangers. You need to have great individual players that can score great individual goals. Look at Dembele's goal. Only he can score that. Look at Fabian goal. Only Fabian can score that. Look at the Hakimi goal. Great goal. I mean, we missed the easiest chance in both legs. The penalty by Vitinha, he missed it. So you just have to have top players that score without needing high XG big chances. What's your thoughts on Joao Pedro not performing this season? I mean, it's a Chelsea thing. I would guess Chelsea just haven't been that good. Heavily reliant on Cole Palmer, who's obviously been injured for a couple of weeks now as well. But obviously showed he got overrated over the summer and so on. Yeah, no, calm, calm. I mean, even if Messi made you, for me, my issue isn't if you became a PSG fan because of Messi. For me, my issue back in the day when we had Messi fans at the club is when they watched the game, they watched it from Messi's perspective, never from PSG's perspective. Like when I want, as I said, I supported United for one season when Ibra was there. I didn't I didn't like cuss out all the United players apart from Ibra if they lost the game. I would have said, yeah, Ibra should have been better. He wasn't that good this game. It was for me the honesty with those Messi fans. But no, it's fair that you want Messi to win, but win him again, like it's already 1-1. Come on, think they care about their dating? You saw the touchdown. Yeah, no, touchdown is just extremely weird, man. I don't think so, no. But they need to get the best out of them boosts. In fact, last in PSG versus Arsenal at Emirates was one of the most attractive football matches I've ever seen, especially against Liverpool at Anfield. That was insane football. I don't know. I remember the game at Emirates. We were really good first 20, 25 minutes, got the goal. Maybe should have gotten a pen timber on Kvara. And then the rest of the game, we just controlled the game, defended well. Arsenal had two big chances, had a disallowed goal as well. We had a couple of chances there towards the end as well. And then Dembouz got injured. When Dembouz got injured and went out, I knew, yeah, we're just going to sit back and defend this 1-0, which we did. Um, my favorite game, footballistically, has to be the first leg versus Liverpool. And I know it wasn't a competitive game because Liverpool was so bad, but like we were so good. The football that we were playing in that first leg versus Liverpool, I'm like we made the top team. the so-called best team in the Premier League, so-called the favorites for the Champions League, look like absolute bums. And Liverpool really haven't been good ever since then. After that, they lost the Carabao Cup final, they lost the Community Shield final, struggling this season so far. I haven't watched them honestly. I've only watched their first game versus Arsenal. But yeah, it looks like they potentially finally got the ball rolling. And yeah, just got to continue. Them not being in Europe is obviously very good if they want to get a top four spot in the Premier League as well. Well, always use and mention PSG players whenever arguing towards Barca. Fans never using their own players. No, but shout out to them, man. Shout out to them, man. Shout out to them. Shout out to me. I would never cuss Madrid fans that give prop to our Paris Saint-Germain players. But obviously, Madrid were going through a bad period, and yeah, they got to cook Barca some way, man. But shout out to them, man. Don't cook them for that. That was beautiful for Madrid fans, man. But it is shameless. It is shameless, but we move, man. Goal, yeah, I agree. I agree. That entire goal, bah. Rob before, Rob, right when the second half starts as well. Touch more? No, I enjoy it as well. Yeah. What can I say? You sometimes get this, you sometimes no. With Mbappe on France national team, will never be able to see Dembele with PSG. No, look, I've never said the opinion that Mbappe should be benched in the French national team, but I think Dembele, I think you want to get the best out of them. You know, at the World Cup, I want Dembele and Mbappe to be some crazy duo. You know, with Guller Mbappe in Madrid, or two attackers. I don't know, maybe Suarez, Cavani with Uruguay back in the day. That's why I want Dembele and Mbappe to be some crazy power combo that can potentially win the World Cup for France. For me, I feel Dembele is way too disrespected. But hopefully, just winning the Ballon d'Or changes stuff. Miss Butler. True, but he has actually improved his pressing a while since then. Yeah, I think you can play Dembele's right forward, Mbappe left forward, and then like maybe do it false nine. Ooh, that would cook. Honestly, I don't have that many good memories from the Liverpool game. I mean, it was such a hectic game, especially the second half. I felt the second half we were not that good at all. Liverpool having countless of chances. We were just surviving in moments. I don't know. I don't have a good feeling from the Liverpool game, man. It was such a nervy game. The second leg, obviously. 100%. But I mean, Barcola is a regular. From what I remember, he started a lot of games. France keeping Deschamps, they are throwing away this World Cup. They should have gotten a new sack a long time ago. 100%, Luca. You know, Deschamps should have probably been sacked after 2021 Euro, if not 2022 World Cup, despite going to the final or after the Euros. But the reason Deschamps was never sacked is, you know, he won them the World Cup in 2018, took them to the final in 2016 and in 2022, and they felt it's disrespectful to sack him. So what they're just doing is they're waiting for his contract to end, which obviously runs out after the World Cup. But no, I agree. They should have had a new cycle a long time ago, especially when you look at the talents coming through. Look at the Desiri Dues, the Kamavingas, the Achlios, the Ryan Cherki, the Michael Olise, Dembele playing in this form. I mean, this one, you want that Zidane. You want a new cycle. Win Ballon d'Or 2026, Kain Haaland and Mbappe then booze again. Like, bro, the Ballon d'Or is just finished. Celebrate Dembele still. I know, but obviously the Ballon d'Or is very exciting to talk about. And I think the Ballon d'Or this year will be really exciting because it's a World Cup year. So, I mean, exactly. I think he would. I mean, I think he would be good, and he would definitely be at least better than Deschamps, which most managers would be because Deschamps is absolutely terrible. Yeah. No, that is true. That is true. I mean, they've already started like similar filthy narratives at. They've already started similar filthy narratives at Madrid. Like Madrid are holding him back or something. Well then, people. Yeah, L'Equipe seems to not be wanting to pose a predicted lineup. My prediction for the people that don't know is a 4-1 victory to Paris Saint-Germain. Obviously, an early game tomorrow. Paris Saint-Germain play at 5 p.m. Yeah. Hopefully, everyone has enjoyed this pre-match podcast. We'll go through some last questions here. Prediction for the Liverpool Madrid game. With form and everything, Madrid should win a 2-1. Could be a draw, though. 2-1, I'm going to say. Madrid. Honestly, feel bad for Mbappe just when you say with PSG. No, I don't think so. Because, I mean, Mbappe plays on the pitch. He was on the pitch. He could have been impactful. He could have led us to a UCL, but he didn't. How does that feel bad for Mbappe? He bottled this so many times. That's one thing. When we got knocked out, everybody talked about the team being shit and everything, and PSG being ass and holding Mbappe back. But few people talked about how bad Mbappe was. And he was our star player for many times. 3-goal, 3 match after one more thing. Due scored 12 goals last season, or they scored 25% of his goals last year. No, Due, I said it last season. He was great, but this season will be even better. Like what I seen from Yamal when he played more central, when he came out, really benefited and he was dealing with some discomfort from dribbling. Yeah, that's when his pass to Kunde came as well. Yeah. And I remember Yamal's pass to assist to Rafinha, if you remember, from the 7-0, 7-1 Real Valladolid game from last season, from a central area as well. Really great assist as well. So no, I've always known the future for Yamal is more a central area because he's one of those players that can dribble, that can play make, and that can score. He just needs to improve the scoring, obviously. But yeah, number 10, false 9-esque would be. The only thing that Yamal, I would say, lacks is athletically in pace. Like, he's not the quickest. But obviously, he can compensate for that. Fair. They're doing well. Actually thinking about doing a video on how well Real Madrid are doing so far. Seeing the Billy complete the mission he failed to do made me feel took Enrique words for granted. Fine, starts to do pressing 100%. And I think that's what happened to Mbappe last season, and why Mbappe's been so good this season is because everything got so bad for Mbappe last season. He finally got reality check. He was like, yo, I got to work hard. I got to perform. That's why he has a new haircut. It's the new Mbappe. He's mentally telling everyone and himself, this is a new version of me. Why? Because the old one wasn't good enough for the past 3 seasons. For sure. All right, then. Look, to the 38 people and everyone we've been chatting with and posting their comments, very happy that you guys are enjoying the comment, and thanks so much for the constant support, and happy you guys are enjoying the content. We'll be live tomorrow, 4 p.m., 1 hour before the Paris Saint-Germain versus Lorient game starts, for the live watch along and obviously a post-match podcast after that. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this pre-match podcast, and as usual, allez Paris.